Hello everyone, once again Ghosthead83 here, and I just wanted to express something about the Spider-Man series that Sony has completely screwed up twice now. The news that I heard, which is probably never going to happen, but it's something I'm totally for, is I loved Andrew Garfield. I thought The Amazing Spider-Man 1 was okay, and then the second one, Sony did the same thing they did with Spider-Man 3. They put way too much into it, too many villains, too much special effects, forced it, and it failed. I think that's the worst one in the series. Some people say Spider-Man 3 is the worst, but I think Amazing Spider-Man 2 is the worst. But they did it with both of them. They rushed it. There's just too many. You don't put three villains in a two and a half hour movie. I mean, X-Men: The Last Stand. That's a huge, same thing with, but that Fox did, and they screwed that up. I mean, it's just make it. What they should have done with Spider-Man 3 is they should have made it Venom at the end and then have Venom be one of the main villains in the fourth movie with maybe Vulture or Kraven the Hunter or somebody like that. That's what I would have done, and I would have not cast Topher Grace. He was horrible. Good actor, terrible choice. You lucked out with Tobey Maguire, but not with Topher Grace. But anyway, the, there have been reports that they were considering bringing Tobey Maguire back, and everybody's kind of like, there's no way in hell that's going to happen. It probably won't. But the only reason I think that's a good idea is because I don't really think it's going to be an Amazing Spider-Man 3. They might call it that, but and I liked Andrew Garfield and Emma Stone. They were, to me, pretty much the only good thing about those two movies. And it just wasn't enough. I mean, and they were amazing together. Whether they were dating in real life or not. I mean, they're both great actors, and I thought Andrew Garfield was great. I just found it kind of ironic that when they cast him, he was 28, and Tobey Maguire was 28 when they cast him, and when they're doing Amazing Spider-Man, they were doing a younger version. I'm like, he's the same age that Tobey Maguire was when he did this first one. So, once again, Sony, I don't know what the hell they're thinking, but I think bringing him back would be cool. I think bringing Sam Raimi would be back would be cool. I mean, kind of making up for screwing him in the third one. Of course, there's no guarantee they won't screw him in another one, but people might be confused. There's like, why would they bring him back? I thought this other guy was the new Spider-Man. So a lot of people, and I'm sure Sony is just going to recast a whole new person because they're talking about him being in the Marvel universe. Him being with the Avengers. I don't know how the hell that's going to work. I'm excited that they're going to try to do that because I always thought that that would be cool. I mean, the comics he's with the Avengers and a lot of things. The Ultimate Alliance video game, 1 and 2, I loved that Spider-Man was in it, Captain America, and the Hulk. I mean, it was great, and I could see the possibility for a movie. And of course, they're coming up on the whole Avengers Civil War thing, and if you think about it, once that, I mean, the Avengers are older, you know, they'll already have what? Well, they have this only the second Avengers, and maybe they'll have all three Avengers done before they start the. No, they'll have all three done before they start the Civil War saga, which is going to be what, 2 to 3 movies maybe. They can hold Robert Downey Jr. for that long, which would be great. Um, it's a more mature Spider-Man, and it's a more mature Avengers. So the fact that Tobey Maguire is 40, whether he can do the physical stuff, I mean, that's the biggest problem in my eyes. But I think bringing him back and him being older is kind of cool and kind of works. I mean, it does to me. I mean, he doesn't look 40. I mean, he's always had a baby face. He's like Tom Welling from Smallville. He was like 24 or something when he started Smallville, and he's supposed to be, like, I don't know, freshman or sophomore in high school. It's like the guy was like, another the guy finished when he was like 33 or something. It's like he's never gonna look even 10 years, you know. I mean, he's gonna look 10 years younger than what he really is, and so is Tobey Maguire. And I don't know if Tobey Maguire is willing to do it. I don't. Sam Raimi, I'm sure, is shaking his head. I don't think they should bring him back to do the Avengers or the Civil War. I think they should bring him back to try to re-establish at least another Spider-Man movie before they start the Civil War thing, which is going to be a long ways away. So whether Tobey Maguire will age will be a factor when that comes out. That's definitely he's gonna be what, mid to late 40s by then, maybe even 50. But Robert Downey Jr. is what? He's 50 by now, isn't he? Around there. He's pumped. He's ready to go. Yeah, he's more athletic probably, but I think Tobey Maguire could do it. I mean, he complained about his back in the second one, and there was just the joke about it. Oh, my back when he falls, and you know, and he still managed. And yeah, he was a lot younger. That was 2004, and then the second or the third one was in 2007. So, but I still think he could do it. To me, he's the best Spider-Man. Andrew Garfield is great, was great, but he's not coming back. He doesn't want to come back, and I don't blame him because he kind of spoke out and said this movie sucks, the second one, and I don't want to come back. I don't blame him. I salute him for that decision. That took a lot of balls, and I like that. I like a little spunk in that the actor's kind of saying, this is bullshit. Let's put some effort into this and not rush it and just get a cash grab out of it, which doesn't happen very often. But I mean, what do you guys think about Tobey Maguire coming back? I mean, I know they've been talking about this for a while, and it probably won't happen, but not just for another Spider-Man movie, but to maybe put him. I still think he's more recognizable Spider-Man than Andrew Garfield. Whether he went out with a sour note with the third one, okay. But you gotta understand that wasn't his fault. That wasn't Sam Raimi's fault. That was Abed Arad, who was one of the executive producers that wanted Venom, so they had to throw in Venom at the last minute. Sam Raimi he didn't have complete control, creative control, which he did on the first two movies. So if you like those two, those are his. The second or the third one is a little bit his. And Tobey Maguire, he just did what he was there to do, and you know, he got through it. Kirsten Dunst got through it. I don't think she's the best Mary Jane. And Bryce Dallas Howard was an okay. Gwen Stacy wasn't really necessary. There's just too much in it. They should have maybe waited but they should have introduced her first. And that's the one thing Amazing Spider-Man did right. They introduced her first. And now they haven't introduced uh, the new Mary Jane yet. And they might regret not have doing that since the second one bombed overall because they did just a really shitty job. But I think that do you guys think that that Tobey Maguire could fit into the Marvel universe? Because I think it's like the Batman Superman thing. Superman's younger, Batman's older, and they're going for an older version of Batman. Because he's obviously going to be a veteran, older, kind of rugged in the new Superman versus Batman movie. And I think that could work for Spider-Man in, an Avengers crossover, some Marvel Universe crossover movie, the Civil War thing. Spider-Man, you can put him in the Civil War thing. It's about the Avengers, the breakup. It's about, it's all over the place, and it's really going to be a very big saga if they really end up doing it right. 3 movies. 3 movies, and they really drag it out and give it the time that it needs instead of rushing. It's really Captain America versus Iron Man, and it's picking sides. And then there's villains, that obviously are going to complicate that even more, as in with any superhero movie or comic book, whatever. But, I think Spider-Man fits into that, and they're already saying they're going to integrate him into some kind of Marvel universe in some way, and I don't really see anything else on the horizon other than that, so, I don't know what else they would put him in that would be like that, so I think he could do it. The physical part, I don't know. Can he get back in shape at 40 and even past if he ends up staying and doing other Marvel Universe movies, or at least a few? Do you guys think he could do it? Do you think Sam Raimi should even consider or be considered to do at least one more Spider-Man before they, kind of throw him into the Marvel Universe? I'm sure they'll recast it completely. But I would love to see Tobey Maguire back and given another chance. Because he didn't get the last chance, neither did Sam Raimi. And I don't think Sony is sorry, or, they're businessmen, they don't care. But I think that it would be cool to have him back. if they got another shot, an honest shot. And I think the veteran Spider-Man is something different, and I think it would be cool. And it's something we haven't seen, and the Batman, it's that's something we really haven't seen. I mean, The Dark Knight Rises, yeah, he was older, but he still wasn't done after that movie. I still don't believe he's dead, but that's a whole other debate. But I mean, that was so this is after, fighting most of Spider-Man's villains at least once. And who knows, they could bring Venom back in. I mean, it would be confusing, yes. You'd kind of have to be like X-Men The Last Stand and then X-Men Days of Future Past. You'd kind of have to say, look, this didn't happen. That's what they did really good with that. Everybody says it's overrated, but I mean, it was the third X-Men movie was good, but it was too much, and too much, it was overkill, and it didn't work as well as the first two easily. So basically, you're gonna have to pretend that that didn't exist. And in Days of Future Past, they basically just say, well, Wolverine erased the future, so therefore that movie didn't happen. So to have Tobey Maguire or Sam Raimi or both come back to at least do one more Spider-Man movie before they leap the character into the Marvel Universe, you're basically going to have to ignore Spider-Man 3. And I don't have a problem with that. I still like Spider-Man 3. I still think it's above both Amazing Spider-Man movies. It's not perfect, it's uneven. The first two are 100 times better. The effects are great, it's action-packed. I mean, it's a popcorn movie. It's not a deep emotional movie as much as the first two were, because it really wasn't given any time or structure that it needed, that the other two received, because Sony let him do that, let Raimi do that, so they did. So I really think you'd have to ignore it. I don't really think there's a lot of fans out there that would have a problem ignoring that movie as if it never existed. So do you guys think that anything I'm saying is a good idea? I mean, I just giving my opinion. I mean, I'd love to see both of them back. Get their just desserts at least one more time, if not more. And if not more, Tobey Maguire in the Marvel Universe as Spider-Man. Just let me know what you think. Thanks.